it was definitely like this Scrooge scene where it's like he went back in the past and the future and all and decided he had to like shape up. And so that's been coming through a lot lately. If you've been listening for a while now, there's been quite a few that have come through regarding that, and how they kept showing it where the person did not want to go back to the past. And I understood the logic. They were like, no, they left the past behind because it wasn't serving them. It wasn't good for them. It wasn't taking them to where they wanted to go. So no, they don't want to go back to where they weren't happy, even though they're not happy now. And yet this time, and it all felt very, very familiar. So again, it just felt like it was the same line of thinking and possibly the same people or same energies, where it was like it's like gave way is what it felt like. They like were like, okay, I do want to go back to the past, but it was different than that. The way they showed it was, so you know how like in the Wizard of Oz, how it gets like all wonky and then she goes back and it's like nobody even knew anything happened, right? Like it all just went back to the way it was. Well, the way they showed it here was everybody went through the hell and everybody realized, oh, this sucks and we all have to do better. And so it was like when they all came to, they all knew they had to do better. They all knew things had to change and that they could no longer continue the way they were. Yet, so they're showing again, like, remember how they said for the longest time, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater? And so I guess it's that idea that they're showing here. It's like there was lots of good, and that is wonderful, but there was also a lot of bad, and that has to change, that has to go. And instead of one person recognizing it and changing everything, this was showing everybody recognizing it. It was like everybody woke up, the entire group. And it did feel like a group. It felt like a lot of people had, it was like undergone this process or something and came to the same conclusion, which was nice because they all came to the same conclusion. It was like they were all, I don't know, I guess like all bickering before, and they were like, oh, fuck this. And they left. And nobody wanted to go back to it. But then finally, it was like they all didn't want to go back to the bickering, but wanted to go back to the good and to make the necessary changes, to communicate correctly, to move forward in harmony, I suppose. I mean, it was quite beautiful. I mean, it's like the fairy tale, right? The story as old as time. It was the happily ever after. It was the... like everybody got their wish, so to speak. I mean, but it was everybody. Like usually it's a storyline around someone, right? Or a couple. This was not that. They let me feel it that way originally, and I think it was just to reintroduce those similar energies so I could get a feel for what was happening. In any case, so I don't know what the message is for everybody. Like, hang on tight, all will be well. It'll be over soon, or everybody's in agreement, or all your wishes will come true. I mean, we could take so much from that. Or they're showing like, be honest with yourself, right? Like, you know, changes need to be made on everybody's part, right? Like none of us are perfect and all of us can make necessary changes. It's like, are we willing to, or are we still stubborn and stuck in our ways? Well, then things will continue the way they are. And sometimes that's good, right? So it just depends on where you're at. But in this storyline, no one was happy. No one was happy. But then at the end, everyone was happy. So whatever that message is, all will be well. But you do have to make changes. You do have to make adjustments. But such is life. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.